A couple of technical charts. Bitcoin, it's hardly a technical chart. It's like breaks 70,000, things going to the moon. Next stop 100,000. So that's my deep technical knowledge. Breaks 70, going to the moon. Also known as the banana zone. Here's another way of looking at it. This is the Bitcoin halving, the boring zone, the banana zone. The boring zone, actually, I think this is drawn wrong. I would argue the boring zone on this would start in July. The banana zone would start in July, and the boring zone finishes at the end of June.
The Real Vision founder and CEO, Raoul, has been discussing the banana zone since at least May, elaborating on this concept through a series of interviews and Twitter threads. Powell explained that the macro summer and fall are driven by the global liquidity cycle, which has been cyclical since central banks began intervening to prevent the collapse of the financial system in 2008. When central banks expand their balance sheets, they inject more liquidity into the markets, immediately boosting asset prices. While all asset prices, from stocks to bonds and real estate, rise due to the devaluation of fiat currency, growth assets like tech and crypto perform particularly well because they are in secular trends driven by adoption. Powell's banana zone thesis hinges on the cyclicality of global liquidity, specifically focusing on the expansionary and peak periods of central banks' balance sheets. He believes we are on the verge of one such period, with liquidity conditions having bottomed out and expected to rise rapidly, continuing until they peak around June 2025 as central banks start cutting rates and easing their quantitative tightening policies. He predicts this will be an exhilarating time for the cryptocurrency market, with crypto asset prices expected to rise sharply, or as he puts it, absolutely go bananas. In the latest edition of his periodic Drinks with Raoul podcast, the renowned macro guru and former Goldman Sachs executive provides much-needed updates on the banana zone and shares his expectations for a dramatic increase in prices in the coming months. Powell forecasts the most exciting period for the cryptocurrency market, with significant price surges and widespread adoption.
Stop. You don't have time. Don't miss out this 2025 bull run. Educate yourself first ahead of the crowd. We have created the ultimate step-by-step crypto cheat guide that will guide you this bull run. Unlock the secrets of crypto and make smarter investments today. Now by clicking on the link below to get your exclusive copy just under $10.
These are just some banana zone charts to help you along. One is we have an overbought, oversold indicator for Bitcoin. We use Bitcoin because it has the longest price history. And what it shows from how we built the overbought, oversold is that really we haven't even started the rally yet. We're only just getting into what's known as crypto summer, even though it's matching with summer, but the crypto cycles, macro cycles are not the actual seasons. They're each year. So we're now in crypto summer. Prices should start to accelerate. Next year will be autumn or fall. So we're not overbought. Altcoins, all about the banana zone. The ISM survey is the business cycle. The business cycle is dragging its way higher, still below 50. So the global economy is slow and the US economy is slow. Now, all our forward-looking indicators, and it was all in that big presentation I gave you, they're all rising. And so very soon the ISM is going to go higher. And altcoins, much like small cap stocks, follow the business cycle. Why? Because you lot don't have any money yet. As soon as the business cycle improves, you'll have money and start punting. It's as simple as that. Another chart, Fed net liquidity in altcoins is a percentage of Bitcoin total market cap. Fed net liquidity leads by 12 months. It tells you altcoins as a percentage of Bitcoin should start rising, i.e. altcoin season is around the corner, which is the banana zone. I actually don't even understand this chart because Julian's smarter than I am. It's the core risk indicator Z-score or Z-score if you're American. Basically, just look at the pink lines. It gets to the top. We're nowhere near it, i.e. we're not overbought, so nothing to worry about. Fed net liquidity against Ethereum. We should start to see Ethereum and the others move away from Fed liquidity. That's always happens because there's a technological adoption curves. So we should see these rising. Fed net liquidity is starting to come up after the TGA got drawn down, increased from the tax credits, the tax take, sorry. And so we should start to see Ethereum do better soon. The other one, financial conditions, they're starting to loosen again. Global M2 follows it. As you know, Global M2 is another driver within this equation. And here's a bit of a money shot. Here's Bitcoin volatility. It's getting right down to that 20% historic volatility line, 10-day. When it gets there, it leads to whopping rallies, i.e. banana zone. And you see the size of these rallies, 83%, 85%, 214% in 2, 3, 4 months. And it also happens in Solana. and the numbers are bigger. I mean, look at that, September 2023, 521% in 3 months. That was only recently. We've forgotten about that because the space is so fucking dumb. The moment it trades sideways, it's like it's all over. It's because, and I get it, everybody's hopes and dreams are in a banana zone. That's what the banana zone actually is. It's a representation of everybody's hopes and dreams. I get it. And I know it matters to people a lot. It matters to me a lot. And so when it doesn't happen, you start having that conflicting voice in your head is, what happens if it doesn't happen? What happens if it doesn't happen? What happens if it doesn't happen? Am I going to feel stupid? Have I f***ed this up? Really, just stick with the program.
Pal is not the only one discussing the clear correlation between global liquidity conditions and crypto asset prices. Marty Pants, host of the Crypto Traders Club, recently posted a chart of the global liquidity index on Twitter with the caption, "Here we go kids, banana zone." It bottomed exactly at the Bitcoin bottom and peaked exactly at the Bitcoin top. Look out for 2025. Despite this optimism, there are as many critics as believers. Some disappointed cryptocurrency investors, frustrated with recent price movements, have been sharing pictures of rotten bananas as a mockery of Pal's banana zone prediction. As of press time, Bitcoin is trading at $64,852, up about 7% in the past week and around 5.37% over the past month. However, the leading cryptocurrency has risen by over 47% in the past 6 months and more than 100% in the past year. Periods of slow price movements are typical in the cryptocurrency market, even during bull markets. As seen in previous bull markets, the most exciting moments often occur within a brief window of 3 to 4 months, which is why Pal emphasizes not messing up before the real action begins. Pal's perspective is crucial for those watching the market closely. Here are more clips from the video discussing his insights and predictions.
Whether it starts next week, next month, or even September, I don't know and I don't care. What you can't do is start turning on each other the moment the bloody thing turns sideways. It's ludicrous. Yes, sideways markets in the majors means a complete bloodbath in the stupid shit you picked up, which is why don't f*** this up. Only have a small portion of stupid shit. They're fun to have. We like it. But if you have too much of this stuff, the moment the dancing stops or the music stops, these things collapse to the floor. This is why I try and explain to you why to have the majority in larger cap tokens that have proven network effects that are working. Then you can speculate and be a true degen with the other stuff. If not, you're going to end up angry and bitter. And all you'll see on Twitter is some bloke who made 100x, and you're like, it can be me next. And before you know it, you'll go to zero. So please, please, please don't do that. Another nice one. This is election years. Election years, you get this summer run into August, sideways, election, banana zone end of year. So the whole banana zone, you can see the shape of it there with a slight kink in it over the September-October period as everyone gets nervous about the election. That's what we should expect. So soon, as they say here in Cayman, soon come. I don't know when, just relax over it. Here's another way of looking at it. This is the Bitcoin halving, the boring zone, the banana zone. The boring zone, actually, I think this is drawn wrong. I would argue the boring zone on this would start in July, the banana zone would start in July, and the boring zone finishes at the end of June. And this chart, I think, is great. This is altcoins ex Ethereum, total market cap, last cycle versus this cycle. It's just beautiful. It's so cyclical, works so well. And again, what lies ahead? Bananas. Tons of big, juicy, ripe bananas. When does the real banana zone happen? The real banana zone happens October, November, December, and then explodes the following year. We go back to the seasonal cycle. We get this run here, sideways, another big run here. I mean, this chart suggests that altcoins, by this measure, market cap could 10x from here. I mean, that's a pretty big deal. It suggests they go to 7 trillion, which is where I'm starting to get to this is a 10 to $15 trillion cycle is where we'll get to on the way to $100 trillion.
On the macroeconomic front, rate cuts are beginning. Over the past month, 3 major central banks, the Bank of Canada, the Swiss National Bank, and the Riksbank, have announced rate cuts. The Bank of Canada reduced its policy rate from 5% to 4.75% on June 5th, marking its first rate cut in 4 years. The Swiss National Bank first announced a rate cut in March, followed by another on Thursday, reducing its main policy rate by 25 basis points to 1.25%. Markets are anticipating similar moves from the U.S. Federal Reserve in the coming months, although it has indicated there will be only one rate cut in 2024. However, some investors believe the Fed will adopt a more dovish stance as the November elections approach. Do you believe the banana zone is coming in July? Please share your thoughts on Raoul Pale's insightful analysis and observations about macroeconomics and crypto, as well as your predictions for Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies in 2024 and 2025. For more Daily Dose Crypto news, check out these 2 awesome videos on your screen. Click now and we will see you on the next video.